Election year is here. Many of us may feel overwhelmed by the constant barrage of political news around us going on 24/7. And if you are finding it difficult to remain calm amidst the intense debates and polarized opinions, or if you are feeling anxious about what election results and what they might mean to your future, or you are struggling to stay calm amidst the heated debates and polarized opinions, then this video will help you. It has been observed that election years often bring a whirlwind of emotions and uncertainties which sometimes feel quite overwhelming. From endless news cycles to social media debates, it's easy to get swept up in the turmoil. People become more vocal, opinions clash, and the future feels uncertain. This tension can lead to stress, anxiety, and even conflict with friends and family. Stoicism teaches us that an event does not have inherent meaning. It is our belief or thought about that event that gives it meaning. When we hear news about poll results, candidate statements, or potential policy changes, we often react emotionally based on our interpretation of what these things mean. But if we pause and examine our thoughts critically, we'd have more control, because control comes from within and not outside. Instead of catastrophizing about potential outcomes or allowing fear or anger to cloud our judgment, we should choose to respond to these events rationally and calmly. This doesn't mean ignoring the importance of elections, but rather approaching them with a balanced perspective that preserves our peace of mind, regardless of external events. Epictetus, a former slave who experienced numerous turbulent regime changes in ancient Rome. His experience mirrors our own in today's rapidly changing political landscape, where administrations can shift dramatically from one election to the next. Just as Epictetus faced uncertainty with each new emperor, we too face unpredictability with each election cycle. Despite the political chaos around him, not unlike our 24/7 news cycles and volatile social media debates, Epictetus found a way to maintain inner calm and even thrive. He developed a philosophy that still guides people today, teaching us that true freedom comes from mastering our reactions to events, not from controlling the events themselves. In our world, this could mean choosing not to be consumed by every breaking news alert or inflammatory tweet, but instead focusing on our personal growth and the positive impact we can have in our immediate spheres of influence. If our focus remains on what we can control and approach life's difficulties with a clear mind and steady heart, we can transform election year turmoil into an opportunity for personal growth and tranquility. Today, I'll share with you 10 Stoic strategies to help you thrive through the election season. These strategies will help you manage stress and empower you to engage in the political process with a balanced and resilient mindset. 1. Detach from outcomes. Detachment is the fundamental and one of the most powerful Stoic principles. This gives you strength and authority. If you are not attached to mundane things, they could not affect you. Imagine this. You're watching election results roll in, your heart racing with each new update. Maybe your favorite candidate is losing, and it is making you anxious, destroying your mental peace. What good is it doing to you? You cast your vote, that is all you could have done. You played your part, and that is it. There is nothing you can do now. Detach yourself. Detach yourself from the final results. Detach yourself from the people's opinions. Detach yourself from TV or the internet too. Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius used to go to the wilderness to spend some time alone with nature and to remind themselves that nothing truly belonged to them. This way, they remained detached from the mundane things and protected their inner peace. In our modern world, if we can't go to wilderness, we can definitely visit a park during the most quiet hours of the day and remind ourselves nothing truly belonged to us in this world. Just a 30-minute reminder would be more than enough. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The next time you feel anxiety creeping in about the election, take a deep breath and remind yourself, "I've done my part by voting and participating. Now I choose to accept whatever outcome unfolds." This isn't apathy. It's a powerful shift in focus from the uncontrollable to the controllable. 2. Limit media consumption. I know we want to remain updated with the latest developments, who is winning, who is losing, and what is happening. We want to know everything. But this constant exposure to election news, especially in a closely contested race, can elevate stress levels and trigger anxiety. The ups and downs of polls and results can lead to emotional roller coasters. In our hyper-connected world, we're bombarded with news 24/7, though it's through news channels or social media. This is where Moderation is a fundamental Stoic virtue that teaches us to exercise restraint and balance in all aspects of life. The Stoics believe that even when abundance is available, we should only take what is truly necessary for our well-being and contentment. Seneca, the advisor to Emperor Nero, knew the harms of the overconsumption of information. He wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." Imagine what he'd say about our endless news cycles and social media feeds. Ideally, we should set specific times for news consumption. Maybe it's 30 minutes in the morning and 30 in the evening. Outside those times, focus on your work, your loved ones, or activities that bring you joy. You'll likely find yourself more productive and less anxious. Remember, being informed doesn't mean being constantly plugged in. As Epictetus advised, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in extraneous matters. 3. Engage in rational discourse. Now let's talk about how we discuss politics. In an age of shouting matches and echo chambers, the Stoic approach to debate is different. Zeno of Citium believed that through rational discourse, we could arrive at truth and virtue. He established a school where open dialogue was encouraged. If you find yourself in a position where you must engage in political discussions, channel your inner Socrates. Ask questions, seek to understand, not just to be understood. Present your point. Some would agree to your point while some disagree, which is completely fine. Your job was to present your point, not to force people to agree with you. Don't try to win over your opposition by being rude or insulting. You might win the debate, but you might end up losing a friend. Chrysippus was great at debating. He was known for arguing both sides of an issue to truly grasp its complexity. People would come to listen all around Rome. They said Chrysippus had magic in his words, but all he used to do was put his points logically and reasonably, and never try to impose his beliefs on others. In your next political discussion, make it your goal to learn something new about the other person's perspective, rather than trying to change their mind. You might be surprised at how this shifts the entire tone of the conversation. 4. Practice self-reflection. Epictetus said, "He who has not reflected upon how he should live, how can he know whether he is living well or ill?" Self-reflection was a cornerstone of Stoic practice. Many Stoic philosophers kept journals for daily self-reflections. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is a core example. This book wasn't meant for publication, it was his personal journal of self-examination. He wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up, if thou wilt ever dig." This practice of introspection can be particularly powerful during election season. It is possible that we may have built wrong beliefs. This could happen due to the functioning of our mind while we were growing up. Through the practice of daily reflection, we can shine a light on our inner workings. This introspection allows us to identify and challenge our potentially flawed beliefs and judgments. By doing so, we can gradually align our thoughts with reason and virtue, getting closer to what the Stoics considered the core of our being, our capacity for wisdom and ethical action. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on your political engagements. Did you react with wisdom and calm? Were your actions aligned with your values? This isn't about self-judgment, but about continuous improvement. 5. Focus on local community involvement. While national elections capture our attention, never forget that the people around you are way more important than anything else. These could be your family, your friends, your relatives, and the people who you interact daily, like your driver, your postman, or your co-worker. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our immediate sphere of influence, not outside of that. Hierocles, a Stoic philosopher of the 2nd century AD, offered a powerful metaphor for understanding our social connections. He described our relationships as a series of concentric circles, with ourselves at the center, expanding outward to family, local community, country, and ultimately, all of humanity. The Stoic goal, according to Hierocles, was to draw these circles closer together, treating those in outer circles with the same care and consideration as those nearest to us. Musonius Rufus, often called the Roman Socrates, took this idea further by emphasizing the importance of civic duty. He taught that personal improvement and community betterment were inextricably linked. In his words, you will earn the respect of all if you begin by earning the respect of yourself. This philosophy suggests that by cultivating virtue in ourselves, we naturally contribute to the betterment of our immediate surroundings. I love this quote by Seneca. Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness. By focusing on your local community, you're not just improving your immediate environment, you're practicing the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control in a tangible, impactful way. If you look closely, the whole point of elections is to desire a better life for yourself and the people around you, isn't it? 6. Use election season as a practice of virtue. The Stoics viewed life's challenges as opportunities to practice virtue. Cleanthes, who succeeded Zeno as the head of the Stoic school, once said, "Fate guides the willing, but drags the unwilling." In other words, we can choose to see difficulties as chances for growth. During this election season, set an intention to practice the 4 cardinal Stoic virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. When you feel tempted or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself, how can I respond with wisdom and self-control? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Let the turbulence of election season be your training ground for cultivating these virtues. 7. Adopt a global perspective. The Stoics were early proponents of cosmopolitanism, the idea that we are all citizens of the world. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "I am a citizen of the world," reminding us to look beyond our immediate concerns. This global perspective can be particularly helpful during national elections. For every hour you spend learning about your country's election, spend 15 minutes learning about political issues in another country. This broader view can help put your national concerns into perspective. As Seneca advised, we should live as if we were in public view and think too, as if someone could peer into the inmost recesses of our heart. 8. Find solace in philosophy and literature. The Stoics were avid readers and writers, finding wisdom and comfort in philosophy and literature. Seneca wrote, "We should hunt out the helpful pieces of teaching and the spirited and noble-minded sayings which are capable of immediate, practical application." During this election season, why not dive into Stoic literature? You may consider Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, or Epictetus's Enchiridion, or the Manual. Their timeless wisdom can provide a calming counterpoint to the frenetic energy of modern politics. Remember, as Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Use this time to enrich your mind and soul with enduring philosophical insights. 9. Practice emotional regulation techniques. The Stoics were pioneers in what we now call cognitive behavioral techniques. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you feel overwhelmed by election news, practice what psychologists call cognitive distancing. Observe your thoughts and emotions as if you were an outside observer. I notice I'm feeling anxious about the latest poll numbers, rather than these poll numbers are making me anxious. 10. Prepare for adversity. Finally, let's talk about a unique Stoic practice, premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This isn't about pessimism, but about mental preparation. Seneca wrote, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." By mentally rehearsing potential challenges, we can reduce their impact when they occur. Imagine different election outcomes, including those you don't prefer. How would you maintain your composure and continue to live according to your values? This mental rehearsal can build resilience and reduce anxiety about potential outcomes. Remember, as Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. As you step into the political arena, whether at the voting booth or in discussions with friends and family, carry these Stoic principles with you. Let them be your anchor, keeping you grounded in wisdom and tranquility, even as the political winds howl around you. By doing so, you'll not only navigate this election season with resilience, but also contribute to a more thoughtful, rational and virtuous political discourse. And in that, regardless of any election outcome, you'll have achieved a profound personal victory. Remember, the goal isn't to become indifferent to the political process, but to engage in a way that preserves your peace of mind and aligns with your highest values. Thank you for joining us today. If this video helped you along your Stoic journey, please give it a like and consider sharing it with others who may benefit from its teachings. For more Stoic teachings, please subscribe to our channel where we post new discussions weekly to deepen our philosophical understanding of Stoicism and the modern world. Until next time.